When I was young, I learned how to be sorry. The transition painful because just the week before, I'd been riding the high. I could be a twirling princess, a future doctor, or whatever the hell I wanted to be. That day of rude awakening came, no knock on the door, no announcement whatsoever. It simply bumped into me and knocked me over. It was the look in people's eyes when they saw my heart worn on my sleeve. It was in the crease of their brow, the deep lines furrowed on their foreheads, as I dreamt aloud, so I began to wear sorry on my back. It seemed to settle there like an old rag that always belonged but just simply been misplaced. I say it belonged because I'd always seen it on my mother and on my gran, on friends and strangers, teachers alike, even the teachers who were supposed to be my superheroes. The only place it seemed to be missing was in the way that white women on television threw their heads as they laughed, and in the way that men wore their heads high. But every place else sorry lived and made its home, I'd just never known what to call it till then. I was sorry I'd been born female, because that meant my body wasn't mine alone, it was shared. Men spoke it with their eyes touching me without permission, strangers and friends alike. Entitled, and I hanging my sorry head because all that I knew how to be was sorry. I didn't know how to be anything else. I was sorry for my brown skin. Grew up with a cousin who, when asked, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" always answered, "When I grow up, I want to be white." See, to him, white was not a skin color. White was a warm bed at the end of the day. It was a life filled with joy and laughter, a life of never having to worry about where the next meal would come from. It was always having a place to belong. My cousin, who'd been orphaned at the age of 5 and belonged to no one who wanted him. I also learned to be sorry for my curves. I learned to hang my head and hide my body. It seemed a shameful thing to have full breasts and hips. African girl magic. How did I learn to hate it before I learned to be me? Don't even get me started on the kinky hair and full lips. I said, when I was young, I learned how to be afraid. Afraid of the dark, afraid of the night, afraid of men, afraid of giving myself away. Afraid of people taking liberties with my body, afraid of loving, and ultimately afraid of life itself. I said when I was young, I learned how to be sorry. The transition painful because just the week before I'd been riding the high, paddling my bike, picking pretty flowers and skipping rocks. I'd had no obligation to be anything other than me. Black, full hips and lips, bold and unapologetic. My mother no longer wears sorry, and in that I found the courage to give it up too. She now throws her head back when she laughs with joy coursing through her, and so I've taken off this old sorry rag and thrown it to the wind. Now I am me, unmasked and imperfect. But I make absolutely no apologies for that.